So we're going to be talking today about QPro, and I'm Dr. Abhishek Kothari. I'm a vitreoretinal surgeon from Pink City Eye and Retina Center, Jaipur. And we've had the good fortune of having used this machine quite extensively in the recent times. And we're actually the first people to start using this machine in India. So, and we're very impressed. We're very impressed with this machine. So let's see what it is all about. So, the USP of this particular machine, QPro, which is powered by the new software algorithm called iFlexa, this is what they call advance on demand. So, the machine is quite modular. You can go for an anterior segment and then later on add the posterior segment module, the illumination module, even the laser module can be added subsequently. So basically, QPro by iFlexa is a machine that can, depending upon the practice needs or the clinic's need, can be upgraded to whatever kind of configuration we require. So what is this machine? This is a multi-applicator platform that can be customized to practice needs, thereby optimizing the equipment investment. An anterior segment surgeon may not initially go ahead with the posterior segment, may not have a significant posterior segment practice. But as practice upgrades happen and the practice evolves, develops, you may want to go for a machine that can give you a full-fledged VR surgery also. So this platform can enable that. What does this machine have extra to offer than whatever is available in the market? For phaco surgeons, it gives you excellent chamber stability, which is one of the key things most anterior segment surgeons look for. By using fluid path adaptation and irrigation pressure control, which I will be talking about. It also has an adjustable venturi pump and a linear hydrodissection, which simplifies and standardizes the critical step. For us VR surgeons, it gives you a fantastic flow rate and uninterrupted flow using the biblade vitreoretinal cutters, the 23, 25, and 27 gauge. And it has an integrated solution for both illumination and laser. Again, modular, upgradable whenever you want. Why should most ophthalmologists be interested in it? For one, it is a very efficient surgical platform, both for phaco and for vitrectomy. It is very economic to use. The consumable cost is low, and most of the consumables are, available modular in a modular fashion separately. You don't have to go and buy the whole packs like some of the leading other vendors have that problem. It has a comprehensive consumable portfolio. You can have a sub 2 mm phaco surgery and complement it using their Hoya's lenses that are the hydrophobic preloaded lenses, which greatly and the quality is excellent. You also have MIVS surgery consumables that are part of the Hoya's armamentarium, and they manufacture it themselves, having taken over Midlabs. Now, the flexible commercial solutions are the packages that Hoya can provide in terms of bundling, in terms of certain offers that adds to the attractability of this package. And of course, they have a very qualified clinical application support and service network and 35 years experience in ophthalmology. Now, let us talk about the posterior segment features, and I'm going to be talking about all of these features in details. One is the high-speed biblade cutters. Again, biblade cutters are limited to a few vendors. That is, Hoya has it, Dork has it, and Oertli has it. Most of the other vendors are still struggling. Some of the other leading vendors are still struggling to get this technology, and it is a revolutionary technology, if you ask me. Fluid path adaptation system and adjustable venturi control gives you a very, very beautiful stability. You don't have fluttering of the retina. You don't have accidental retinotomies. LED illumination with integrated laser makes your work easy. It is a one cassette system. You don't have separate cassettes for phaco and for vitrectomy. And of course, because they have all the consumables with them, it's a complete portfolio. The foot switch is wireless. It has a fluid air exchange, silicone injection, and phaco frag, as most standard systems have. So let's talk a little bit in detail about the vitrectomy cutters. Biblade cutters, they're available from Midlabs from 20 gauge to 27. The whole range is available. And what are the implications? Traditionally, most of these vitrectomies are single blade cutters. In single blade cutters, whenever you want to increase the cut rate, to make your surgery safer, because that reduces traction. But whenever you increase the cut rate, your flow drops dramatically, and it takes an exceedingly long time to take the British out. If you look at this graph on the right hand side, in a 20 gauge using a 250 mm mercury suction, if you increase the cut rate from approximately 1000 to about 5000, there is a massive reduction in the flow rate. It comes down from approximately 26 ml per minute to approximately 10 ml per minute. That's a huge reduction. And the lower graph also, the straight lines are the ones of the biblade cutters, the top one being the 25 gauge, the bottom one being the green line being the 27 gauge. And the same 25 gauge single cutters of two different vendors, Alcon and Bausch & Lomb, you see the way it drops the minute the cut rate rise. So a slow cut rate provides higher duty cycle and it gives you good aspiration but higher traction. And whenever we use faster cut rates in a single blade cutter, it lowers the duty cycle dramatically and it increases the time for vitreous removal. So one of the main advantages of this biblade is that this graph, which follows the downhill curve, does not happen. In a single blade vitrectomy, the dynamic, there are three aspects to a flow rate. The one is the cut rate, how high or how low your cut rate is fixed, the vacuum that you want to use, and the infusion pressure within a standard paradigm. So eventually you play with cut rate, and when you increase the cut rate, you have to increase the vacuum quite a bit. And the recommended, initially when Alcon came out with a 5000 cut rate, they recommended a 600 mm vacuum, which is a very high vacuum and can cause retinal breaks in the periphery during surgery, unnecessary iatrogenic trauma. So BioBlade cuts in both direction, and thereby it's a very, very ingenious way of doubling the cut rate. So if your cutter is operating at 7500, you're actually getting a 15,000 cut rate. It leaves the port open in all positions. Thereby, the flow rate becomes very, very high. And you'd be surprised to know that without regard to whatever your cut rate is, your duty cycle is approximately 92%, whereas the duty cycle drops to less than 20% when you are using very high rates in single blade cutters. So this is another graph, a 27 gauge, the purple one, the blue line, the 25 gauge. These are biblade cutters. You see, as you keep on increasing the cut rate, it makes no difference. The flow rate remains the same. Whereas if you start using a single port cutter, your performance drops quite dramatically. So here, with a biblade cutter, only two variables are in play. One is vacuum and one is your infusion pressure. So because the duty cycle part has been taken out, you can still achieve reasonable amount of flow with a very fairly respectable vacuum that does not endanger your retina. That is a big advantage. So 23, 25 and 27 all are available with this Hoya platform. Currently, I have used 23 and 25. Now, this is again something which is of interest both with the anterior segment surgeon and the posterior segment surgeon. This is called fluid path adaptation. What does fluid path adaptation mean? So when a surgeon is operating at a fixed pressure, now the minute infusion pressure and the minute his foot pedal he starts pressing, the vacuum starts rising, and whenever here, if you're operating especially at higher vacuums and there is a break in vacuum, there's a break in hold, the break in occlusion, immediately the anterior chamber pressure or the vitreous cavity pressure falls down, causing hypotony, causing fluctuations which can be dangerous. Now, what FP8 does is, let's suppose you work at a 400 mm mercury of suction pressure, vacuum pressure. You can divide it into three arbitrary points. You can fix 3 points on the rise curve of your vacuum. At these 3 points, whenever you cross 1 or 2 or 3, these 3 thresholds, the machine will immediately pump up the infusion pressure by whatever you have said, by 10 mm or 15 mm, whatever you have said, so as to compensate your increased outflow that is achieved by a higher vacuum. So if you have a occlusion break, you still will have a fairly decent chamber. So what they do is that it works with IPC, that is the mechanically regulated infusion pressure control. And what happens is that, let's suppose I have a vacuum set. Let me go to this graph now. Let's suppose I I'm a phacosurgeon or a VR surgeon working at 500 mm of mercury. Now, what I do is I set my foot pedal, the whole foot pedal plate, I divide it into 3 parts, and I set up the FPA at one at 50, one at 100, and the other at 250. So now when I start, I increase my suction, I keep on pressing my foot pedal down. At 50, the machine will pump up the infusion so that whatever outflow is, it gets compensated and the chamber is stable. The same thing when my second threshold is at 100, the minute I cross 100, again the machine will give a small boost to the infusion pressure and thereby making the chamber a little more stable. And now third, the minute I start working on higher pressures, I keep a 250 and I cross the 250 mm mercury threshold. Again, the machine will pump up the infusion pressure by a little and ensure that there is no chamber collapse. Also, this machine has a fantastic adjustable Venturi pump. You know, Venturi pumps are there in a lot of machines. So what is new about it? So you can calibrate or grade the machine's Venturi pump response. You can set it according to your preferences to strong, from strong to the faint. Let's suppose you are a very fast surgeon and you want rapid response. You can calibrate and fix the machine with the adjustable Venturi pump set to +2. You will get a immediate response and immediate sharp rise in pressure. Let's suppose you are not such a huge fan of massive suction and you want a little more graded response, then you can keep it at weak or faint, that is -1 or -2, and you will get a graded gradual response to your foot pedal, and thereby the chamber becomes fairly stable. You according to what you are comfortable with, you can set the Venturi rise action also. Of course, if you can see better, you can treat better, and the company has a fairly good range of light pipes, endo illuminator probes, the shielded, wide angle, focal, and the chandelier. And this is the light source, which is a LED power source. Now, LED power source have a huge advantage because of the life, and the life of this is approximately 10,000 hours, so which is like almost the complete duty cycle of the machine, and that is a minimum of 10,000 hours. You can get even more than that. And it's a very small, very convenient box. And there are 3 sources of light here, 3 independent output. So you can use a light pipe and 2 different chandeliers, or maybe if you want 1 bulb fuses or something like that happens, you can switch over to the second or the third also. So there are basically 3 separate LED sources, which is a very, very huge advantage. And the other advantage that I want to point is that this is basically the LED. It's not a cool white LED. It's a warm white LED. Now, warm white LED, if you see the graph on the bottom right corner, this is what the warm light LED's graph is, wavelength frequency. It matches closely with the human eye sensitivity. So it gives you a very natural and a very soothing appearance. Most of the other machines that have a halogen or a xenon lamp currently, their graphs are actually a little different from what is best for the human eyes sensitivity. So there is a proper spectrum of light. Now these are the probes. You have a wide angle probe that you use for general vitrectomy, and you hold it close to your port and do your surgery. The shielded one is again used for general vitrectomy. It's very good for recording. If you want to record something, it's very good because it doesn't have a backscatter. And it has a fairly wide spread of light. This is the best, I would say. This is something which I use the most frequently. You also have the focal light pipes where the cone of light is a little narrow, about 30 to 40 degrees only. This is very good for focused illumination used for macular surgery. Some people use a chandelier along with the focal light. So chandelier gives you a broad illumination, and then focal light gives you a very high focal illumination. Chandeliers, both 23, all the 3, 23, 25, and 27 gauge options are available with this machine, and they are both Procar or transcleral friendly. You can use it in either way. These are the wide range of illumination probes, both 20 gauge, 23 gauge, 27 gauge, and in all kinds of model variations that you wanted. They also have a combined endo illumination and endo laser unit, which they call the OMSS Phoenix. Now here, along with the LED source, you also have a laser source that is a green laser, 532 nanometer laser, and you can use it with your existing microscope filters. And this is again a very compact box which you can put on top of your machine and move it around also. So this is a very nice option. Also, this has SLT and LIO adapter also. So you can, if somebody really wants to use it in the OPD, they can actually pick it up and use it in their OPD also. Yeah. So the
doctor, but yeah. 15 minutes are already over.
No problem.
So could you please wrap up in the next minute or so?
Yeah. We have sufficient time. Don't worry.
So, all right. So nobody else would be joining apart from you? You three?
Yes. That's why we have sufficient time. Don't worry.
Surely. Go ahead.
Right. So endo laser probes, again, the straight endo laser probes for the people who really love the traditional way of doing laser. Most of us now use curved endo laser probes, and some of us also use a stepped curved endo laser probe. All of them are available with the machine. So if somebody wants to use, they also have a illuminated endo laser probe, which has both the illumination and the laser in one single probe, thereby freeing one hand of yours. The other advantage that is I talked about earlier, it's a one cassette system. So phaco, be it phaco or be it VR, it's just one cassette. You don't have to change the cassette between. Let's suppose on a list you have 2 phacos and 1 VR. You don't have to change the cassette. It's the same cassette that can go for both, and it makes life easy for OR staff. There's no mix-up. There's no need to keep additional separate inventory. The priming part is also very good. It's a single-step priming. There's no long pathway to prime the machine. It's a very fast primable machine. You have a air fluid exchange, you have a step cock already fitted onto it, and oil injection accessories like standard ones, they are available, which can be used with normal BD syringes with lure lock, and this is for aspiration. Now, their foot switch is a fantastic foot switch. It has dual linear wireless foot switch, and it has both the from the top to bottom motion and the sideway yawing motion. Both of them are available. Cataract surgeon who want to control separate when the ultrasound has to kick in, they can do that. Any additional vacuum that has to be kicked in, it's a completely programmable foot switch. And apart from the central foot plate, the foot pedal, there are 8 buttons which can easily be programmed to whatever you want, from continuous irrigation on off to increase or decrease of the IPC pressure to switching of modes. Everything can be done very easily, and it works on a Bluetooth mechanism. It's an always on Bluetooth, doesn't go into the sleep mode like some of the machines used to earlier. It is powered by 2 AA batteries, very easily available, and one set of batteries lasts almost 6 months. So it's a fantastic thing, and plus it reduces the clutter because you don't have wires running on the flooring. The phaco handpiece is the same as the frag handpiece, so you can use the same thing for both. Just the needles change, and this is only the second company in the world. DORC was the first one, and they are the second people to have a 23 gauge fragmatome also. Almost all other companies have only a 20 gauge or a 19 gauge fragmatome. So this has both 20 and 23 gauge phaco fragmatome needed. So that basically what sums up. They have a fantastic fluidic advantage, which maintains stability. They have their own LED illumination and accessories. The trocar sets, the light pipes, the cutters, they manufacture their own. And of course, the BiBlade gives you a fantastic advantage of cutting. So an all-round very good machine for a VR system. So that's why I really like this machine. And actually, then we went ahead and we got this machine, and now we've been using it. So we are pretty happy with this.